Some things can transport us back to a very specific time and place in our lives. Music, for instance. We all remember those songs we loved when we were growing up. Food. I'll always remember the comfort food that my grandmother made me. Another thing that can take you right back to a specific time and place, as it turns out, is Gunpla. Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Liam, this is my hobby room. Join me today as I build the first model kit that I ever built in my life. Ever. The 1995 1/144 scale Wing Gundam Zero. It was the year 2000. I was 10 years old, just a strapping lad. And I'm sure I can speak for many of us watching in my generation right now, we were religiously following the Ocean Group dub of Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, or New Mobile Report Gundam Wing if you want to be technical, on YTV or in some cases Toonami, depending on where you were. My first exposure to Gundam actually happened a few years back when an exchange student that we had named Tatsu, if he's watching by some miracle, hey Tatsu, how's it going? Thanks for altering the course of my life. Tatsu showed me some bootleg episodes of Zeta Gundam, and it just blew my tiny child mind, and then all I wanted for so long was just Gundam stuff, but it was nowhere to be found, because I live in Canada. And then one fateful day, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing aired in the West, and then there were Gundam toys, and there were Gundam model kits and posters, and I could get all kinds of Gundam stuff. So I begged my mother to take me to Toys R Us, and she bought me the 1/144 scale Wing Gundam Zero. So that was 24 years ago. Wow. Ha! Okay, and now that I'm a little bit older and a little less wiser, I think I'm gonna try rebuilding this kit and making it as nice as I can make it to show my 10-year-old self, don't worry, you're not wasting your life. That was my first experience with Gunpla. In all honesty, I knew from that moment I was going to embark on a journey that would last me for the rest of my life because I loved Gundam so much. So I dedicate this video to my 10-year-old self. How's it going, little guy? This one's for you. Now, with my nostalgia goggles firmly placed on my head, I love this kit very much, and I think it's wonderful. However, the goal of this video is to make this model kit in a way that stays true to the original charm of it. I don't want to stray too far from that. I remember it being much cooler than it actually is. That's kind of the benefit of nostalgia and the drawbacks of nostalgia, I guess you could say, when you're faced with the actual thing, like 20 years later. We're not going to change the proportions drastically. We're not going to really change anything too drastically. I am going to replace the joints just to give it a little bit more of a modern look and some firm kind of, just update some things a little bit to kind of bring this kit more in line with how I remember it. And I think it's going to be a really fun project and not too difficult. So I think you'll have a fun time watching this because I'm going to have a fun time doing it. So I don't normally do articulation on this channel, but in this case, I think it's a fun little nostalgic romp. So let's take a quick look at the no-grade 1/144 1995 Wing Zero articulation here. Head swivel on an old ball joint. Arms can windmill. Shoulder pauldrons move up and down. Shoulder winglet moves in and out. You have an almost 90-degree bend on the elbow in both directions. You have a polycap hand with a ball joint. No ab crunch. Waist swivel. Because they keep flopping around in the back, you can see that the binders move. The binders also move out like so. The opening and closing gimmick here is performed with a peg. Front skirts flip up. Side skirts flip up. Hips are on ball joints. Legs kick up that far and have a pretty good bend. The back of the leg opens up and you can swing the feet back and spin them around. And that is all. Welcome to our very first nostalgia build. I mean, a lot of the videos on my channel have been like nostalgia inspired, but this is our first official nostalgia build, so that's very exciting. If you're enjoying the video and you're enjoying the customization, I'd really appreciate if you like this video and subscribe to my channel because there's a ton of Gunpla videos on there. I think it's a lot of fun. I pour my heart and soul into these. Some are better than others, but I love every single one of them like my own children. I do pick favorites, though. For accessories, you have the nose cone shield. It is completely molded in red, and there's a little yellow piece you plug onto the bottom, and as you can see, it's completely hollow. There are 2 tabs on either side of the shield that you can plug the halves of the twin Buster rifle into. It's designed to attach onto the arm with this little peg here, or when it comes time for the transformation, you can plug it into the backpack. You get a very short, chunky version of the twin Buster rifle, and it opens up like this. You can see it's attached by some little pegs. Both halves have the grip and the trigger guard, so that's kind of weird. When you want to put it into the hand in its combined mode, you just kind of sandwich it in there and hope nobody really notices that it looks super weird. Surprisingly, despite this kit's age, it can hold the twin Buster rifle up just fine. And you get a solid off-white toothpick, which is the beam saber. Wing Zero loosely holds the beam saber, just kind of slides around in its grip, and you only get the 2 hands here, so there's not really, oh god, this happens a lot. It's just, oh dear. So this kit is a product of its time, obviously. There's going to be some very big limitations in articulation, but that is not why I'm working on it. I'm working on it for nostalgia. So without further ado, let's get started on the modification. Yay! Alright, so it's time to begin our modification, which I'm very excited to do. However, before we begin, you should take note that there's a bunch of stickers on here, and they've probably been on here for like 20 years, so we're gonna have to remove those. If you've had to do this before, you'll know that they tend to bond to the plastic, and even though they look crappy and they don't always stick all the way down, they kind of, will leave behind a lot of goo, sticker goo. Is that sticker goo a term? Anyways, to that end, we have this product here called Goof Off. You have to say it that way. It's stipulated in the fine text on the back. Now, as they proudly say here, it works the first time, so we'll see. So Goof Off is a solution that removes little, bits of bonded sticker goo and stickiness and gross stuff. We're gonna apply that with a Q-tip. So first, we gotta start taking off some of these stickers. So I have things very neatly arranged here, and we're just gonna push them all over here. So I don't know why I did that. Now, peeling off the stickers on the face, there's not like that much goo left behind, so that's kind of good. It looks like it's mostly dried on the sticker, so cool. I mean, it was probably disappointing for whoever put the stickers on when they built this model kit 1,000 years ago, but for me, that's just dandy.
1 hour later.
Alright, so now we've got our Goof Off. We're just going to put it on a Q-tip and apply it to the model kit here. There's quite a bit of goo, but it does a pretty good job. Now, here, there's a lot of paper still left on it, so I'm probably going to have to scrape that off. Or not, actually, now that I'm looking at it. It's doing pretty well. The downside to using a Q-tip is it'll get clogged with the goo. The goo that we are removing. Eventually, so see, yeah, it's kind of rough right now. Now be careful with this Goof Off stuff because I'm pretty sure it will melt the plastic or at least soften it a little bit. The amount that I'm putting on, there's really not much risk of that, but just something to be aware of. You don't want to soak anything in it because I'm pretty sure that will end up destroying whatever model piece that you are working on. As long as you are purposeful with your movements and gentle and remove the excess after you're done, then you shouldn't have anything to worry about. Alright, so first up, I want to start with the arms. Like I said before, we're going to be replacing those joints, and to do that, I'm going to use some of these. These are some option support parts from MSG, stands for Modeling Support Goods, not Mobile Suit Gundam. That's a good clever little legal thing here. Alright, so here are our tiny little elbow joints. Now let's get those in there. So we'll remove the polycaps. Now, if mine eyes do not deceive me, what I think I'm gonna have to do is widen this whole thing. Okay, so let's, yeah, just a little bit wider. I'm gonna put something on the back of this elbow here, like an elbow guard, just so it doesn't bend backwards all the time. So let's get some Plasticard. Now that we have our ball joint and you can see like a cross section of the arm here, we're going to need a little polycap or something to fit this into so it stays in place, and that way I can paint it separately and all that jazz. Okay, so I was gonna use my router to saw this piece out, but as you can see, it's not working, which sucks because this was actually a pretty expensive router. We're gonna just put this back and we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Love that, love it. Okay, and now let's put this peg in, see if it fits. There we go. That's good. That's good. Where's the hand? So it'll go in kind of like that. There needs to be a magnet in there, of course, but I'll do that in just a sec. And there you have it. So the arm is a little bit wider, but I think that's going to be okay. So let's just get to that magnet first so I can close this bad boy up. Here are some magnets. Let's see what we're working with here. There's a little hole here, which I think, yeah, it's the perfect size for one of these. All right, so these are 3mm magnets, so I need to drill a 3mm hole right here. Perfect. This is working out very well. I was just about to say now we'll just see if this fits and then we'll glue it in, but it's the sizing worked perfectly, so we're just gonna put some super glue in this little peg hole here. Okay, so now we can glue this part together and call it good. Let's put some cement on here. On here? I don't know where that accent came from. Sometimes I just find myself doing that. I just make weird voices to no one. No one will be home. It's just me and my dog, and I'll just start talking weird voices. Strange man I've become. Hey, good enough. Alright, so now that these pieces have cured, mostly cured, I'm just going to sand them down and clip off some extra bits. Oh yeah, one thing I did off camera because I forgot, is that I just heightened these a little bit, the tops of the forearms, just to kind of make a facade of elongating them. So I'm just going to remove a little bit of the excess and then sand it down. Next up, we're going to be doing the shoulder and the upper arm, and now I'm just going to compare that with the one I've already done so you can see what I'm about to do to it. It looks mostly the same, or the exact same from the outside, but on the inside you can see there's some changes happening, some stuff that's been cut out. So I've modded this little shoulder piece in such a way that it works for a much better connection while also keeping things pretty easy to paint. So that's going to be, so let's get to work on this shoulder, hey? I mentioned this up top in my kind of overview of the mods that I wanted to do, but this little like half thruster piece here is going. We're gonna put an actual thruster in there, and it's gonna look much better. So right now we have our two halves. Before we cement these together, we're gonna have to get rid of some of the internal pieces here. So let's just get rid of some of these extra bits that we don't want. There's a tendency when doing these kinds of modifications to want to make everything like really pretty on the first go around, and that's not really a helpful exercise, I think. The best way to do it is to mechanically get your mod working first, and then you can worry about making it look nice. And now we're going to line the inside of these pieces with some polystyrene. And then we just sandwich these two pieces shut. Now on the bottom, you can see we've got a little more work to do. So we're gonna put a piece of plastic card down on the bottom here, and then we're going to use one of these detail pieces that I picked up in Japan. These are pretty sweet, actually. And they just so happen to be the perfect size. So we're gonna cut one of these out. Let's give it a nice sand, and we'll just see how that fits. So these white pieces that we've put down on the inside of the shoulder are here not only to kind of bulk it up and reinforce it, but to hold this piece in place as it sets. Now we're just going to slide one of these detail pieces in here. So now, once these pieces cure into place, I can cut them down to the proper size, and that pretty much does it for this shoulder as well. We will be putting some thrusters in the bottom of both of these, but I'll do that at the end when I've finished these arms. Right now, I'm just mostly worrying about the grunt work, so to speak. The groundwork? Laying the groundwork? I don't know. Let's get all this plastic junk out of the way, and we'll start on the upper arm. So we just got to clean this piece up a bit, remove the pegs. Those aren't going to be used. Whoops, one of them just shot off into space. That's the peg for the joint. Now for this piece, as you can see, what we've done here is we've added some plasticard. I have to do that because the inside of this is hollow, and I want there to be enough friction for me to plug a joint into. And then we're going to kind of like cover the rest of that joint in some armor plating to mimic the original look. So I'm gonna go through here, remove this stuff, because this is just gonna get in the way, and then I'll put some plasticard on the bottom, cement that, let it cure, drill a hole in it, put this together. That's a lot of, that's the long and short of it. So let's finish cleaning this piece up and get to work. There we go, there's some stacked plasticard on the bottom. That will add enough friction when I plug this thingy in there, but for now we're gonna let this cure, and then we can trim off the sides and finish that up. So the arms are almost done. I just want to put a piece of plasticard onto here to kind of mimic how the armor would hang down over the joint, as it was doing before I kind of cut it off. And yeah, that'll be pretty much it. Just to make sure these pieces are nice and firmly cemented, I'm going to put them in my vise. That should help. So, as I might have mentioned before, I don't remember if I did or not, the arms swing back and forth on this kit, and I find that kind of weird. So I'm going to put a little shoulder guard on here. I'm just going to stack some plasticard and slap it on the back there, and kind of blend it into the rest of the design. I don't want it to look too out of place. I'm just going to make it very simple. So I've just cut out some pieces of plasticard here, and I'm going to cement these together. Most of this mod is just me cutting out plasticard. Every now and then, I drill a hole. So I just sanded down those little stacks of plasticard and shaped them a bit with my sanding stick, so I'm just going to, oh good, yeah, it still fits. I measured them pretty roughly, so I wasn't sure if they'd still fit. This one might need a bit more sanding, just on the sides. But yeah, I'm going to cement these right onto the back of the forearm. And here we go. Looks pretty good. Wow, that took me a little bit longer than I expected, so I'm going to split this up into a couple videos, and we'll cover another chunk of the modification in the next one, and then probably in the one after that we'll do all the painting, and I think that'll be a good way to do it. Otherwise, we'll be here for like 4 hours, which is a long time for a YouTube video. And if you'd like to support the channel, which some of you have, which has been incredible, and I thank you so very much, I'm gonna shout out those names now. We got Zeiss, we've got the Maple Sergeant, aka Lord Thoric, you might see his name down there, and Commander Bly, so big ups to you guys. Thank you so much for helping me out and keeping this channel going. So I'll probably do a different video after this one, and then I'll dip back into this series, you know, as we go on, because I've got a lot of different kits that I want to do. So I might not do this series sequentially in my uploads, but you know, we'll get there. So thanks for watching. Until next time, everybody, take care of one another, give your moms a hug, and I'll see you guys next time on Liam's Hobby Room. Why am I standing on one foot? Oop.